Welcome to another edition of your social and gender development program, The BAT Show. On this episode, we will discuss youth participation in economic and political development. Nigeria is a more youthful society than each of the three global economic powers, the United States of America, China, and Japan. The African Youth Charter classifies our youth as people between 15 and 35 years. They are evolvers of economic and political and cultural transformation, as well as drivers of change. Unfortunately, this advantage has not significantly influenced our nation's economic prosperity, social unity, and political stability. On this episode, we will be re-educating every Nigerian on the role of the youth in nation building and development and the ills associated with ostracizing young people from political processes. Joining me for this discussion is a youth, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, and the new breed politician who understands the business of genuine representation. That's Comrade BRIGHT IYAMU, the CEO, Rev La Vida, and the founder, BRIGHT IYAMU Foundation. We will return to begin the conversation after the break. All right, thank you very much. You're welcome from that short break. And in here we have a wonderful young man. Of course, you know, being young is relative, so I hope we'll get to know how young he is on the program today. He is Comrade BRIGHT IYAMU. He is the CEO, Rev La Vida, and the foundation, BRIGHT IYAMU Foundation, here in Edo State. It's nice having you in us.
You're welcome.
Okay, as the BRIGHT IYAMU, we all know you as a philanthropist, they say, and a businessman as well as a politician. And you're quite young, because that's where I have, you know, some questions.
Yeah.
Let's get to know you more. Who is BRIGHT IYAMU, and how young are you actually?
My name is Comrade BRIGHT IYAMU. I am from Orion local government in Igbododo. I am a young entrepreneur and a politician, and a philanthropist per se. So I came into politics not quite long, because politics was not really my thing from the offset, because I like doing business. But it came to a time I just feel my people need me for a rescue. So that was why I added politics to my business. And me coming into politics doesn't make me just forget about my business. I still do my business, and I do a part of politics. As you can see right now, the politics has taken a different shape entirely. If you look around different local governments, different wards, you begin to see that all the aspirations are coming from the young ones. Before, it was never like that. So I think this is a new day for all the youths, not just me alone.
That's interesting. But before we will go into how much you have, you know, been able to contribute as a politician. Now, going back to you being a businessman, it seems you started very early, or is it like you actually from a wealthy family or something, or how did you actually get to, you know, have so much business concerns at this young age?
Yeah, I can say I came from a very wealthy family, but my parents was well to do it. They made sure they gave us the kind of educational background we needed as a person. So that is the step we are still following. Talking about business, when you know what you're doing, having a business, a big business, is not really, it's not that difficult. You have to start from somewhere, because I started from somewhere. So from the beginning of my business, it was not that big. I started very small, but later, because I was born and raised here, the business started having goodwill. So with time, people were not comfortable with the business. That is why everywhere you go, you hear Rev La Vida, Rev La Vida, but most people don't know how it happened. It's been 5 years now. So we thank God that everything is moving well, and everybody that have been patronizing me in one way or the other, we'll say kudos to all of them.
Yeah, of course. We know that Nigeria is a very difficult terrain, and especially, sometimes with the kind of youth we have right now, who prefer, this easy and fast way. Why didn't you take through those paths? What made you think, going through the path of hard work, pays you better? And what has made you stay on it?
Yeah, first and foremost, as a person, you should know that upbringing matters a lot. Okay. The home you came from is the first thing that matters where you are going in life. When we are growing up, our parents made sure they did the best to make sure we become a better person. You understand? They just said it's not all about money. Just be who you have to be. Be a person that when you go to anywhere, even if you don't have that much money, but the society will recognize you as a person. So that is the legacy we are following. So as you can see, if you can look at these people that are doing all this fast money ritual and all of that because they just want to make money, even if you ask them what is the reason of you doing this kind of thing, there's no reason. Just because you want to meet up, you want to feel among. Because after making the money, the first thing they will do is just to get a car, started going to different hotels. They don't even have what to use the money for. Whereas there are some people that have that ideas, but the money is not there. Yeah, that's what I just say about that.
Okay, now let's get to your foundation, the BRIGHT IYAMU Foundation.
Yeah.
What is the foundation all about?
Yeah, the foundation, as I told you before, I'm a philanthropist. So I just said, let me set this foundation so that it will be more standard. You understand? It's better you show whatever you are doing so that other people will emulate you. By the time you are doing it in a one-way corner, nobody is seeing it. People won't even know what you are doing. It's when I started that foundation, whatever I'm doing, I usually put it on my platform. Other people will see it. So most time I still have friends abroad that will say, what you're doing is very good. Let's support this movement. So that's an encouragement for me. If not for that foundation, maybe by now I would have slid back. That what am I even doing? I have other responsibility to face. Why am I wasting my money on people that I don't even know? So with that foundation, when I do anything, I just put it on my platform. People will begin to comment, you've done well, you like this, like that. But people are saying it. It's something that will boost me to do more.
Now, the people in your community, how well do they appreciate this foundation? And is it just education? Which area of support do you actually give to people?
Yeah, I've given different kind of support to people. There are sometimes, even in my communities, some people do not have the kind of amount to pay their school fees. I just do it without even telling anybody. One of the projects that actually boosted me in my community was when I restored a pipe-borne water in my village. After so many years of them not having water in the community, they do go to the nearby community, some go to the river to get water. So I visited them one day. On my getting there, I asked them, what is your problem? What do you really want? They said their most challenge is pipe-borne water, that they don't have pipe-borne water. I said, okay, since this is your challenge, I will do my best to restore it for you. And I did it. It was on air. Everybody saw it. That was why everybody now said, you're a good man. There are some other big people in this community. Theirs is just to come during election, the campaign, give bag of rice to those people. They'll share it, a cup and 2 cups. Everybody will be happy that day. After that day, no more. See, after 4 years, when the next election is coming up again. So if I go to my community now, you will be surprised of the kind of high regard they will have for me. But I'm not in government yet.
But that's where the challenge lies, because I found out that sometimes when people begin to give back to their community or the society, the pressure to get into politics is there. Is that the reason why you got into politics?
The reason I get into politics was there's always a thought saying like, we are the leaders of tomorrow, we are the leaders of tomorrow. I keep hearing that when I was very young, very small. Now I'm an adult. We are still saying we are leaders of tomorrow. When are we going to grab this leadership? Tomorrow will never come. So, and these people that are up there, they will never give you the chance to become that leader that you want to be. Even if you want to become a leader, there will still be a leader of your own leader, so that they can be controlling you. Exactly. That is why, if you can see, majority of the people in this state supported the executive governor, because what he is doing is giving the, I won't say Edo State, he's giving Nigeria a different shape of politics. That's what he's playing. That is the reason why you see other leaders, those old men, having problem with him. Because the kind of politics he's trying to play now is going to benefit the youth more and take the older ones out of business. You understand? What he is telling you, if you want to play your politics, play your politics. But make sure you have other things doing outside politics. So that should, in case you are looking for any appointment, you are looking for any elected position, if it doesn't get to you, you will have a second thought. You understand? So that is where most of these old politicians, they do politics 24/7. They don't have any other job. That is why they go extra mile whenever they are seeking for an elected position. So this is just a common sense, like, you have children. Your children are already adults. Bring them. We'll get them screened. If they are up to standard, we'll put them into public offices. But they said no. They want to be doing it the way it used to be. They will just recommend you, this leader here, go and become the local government. They don't even know the capacity of the person. The person will go there, he will flop for the next 4 years. I believe that's number one challenges that we are facing in this politics, in this state. Not just in this state, in this federation.
So, but how do you think the youth can break through some of the challenges? Because we're going to the challenges right now of being a youth and taking that political space. Now you know the challenge of finance is there, yes. And then the challenge of godfatherism, like you also said. What do you think the average youth can do to break through?
Yeah, right now I will say for the youth, like 60%, finance is not really a problem anymore. Okay. Because these days, you will see most of our youth, after their university days, they just look for something else to do. Unlike like 10, 15 years ago, when somebody graduates, he will be waiting to see his father get him a job. But now it's a different ball game. Once you graduate, you must look for a greener pasture. You don't depend on your father anymore. Gone are those days when you see a 30-year-old boy, a 25-year-old boy, who will still be in his father's house. Those are the primary things that laid back all the youths in this country. Because when you are dependent to your father, to your parents, you won't know you are an adult already, because when you wake up in the morning, they'll give you breakfast, you eat. In the evening, you eat. So your responsibility is not much. You don't pay your house rents. So you don't have any responsibility. That's when your father will still give you monthly earning, like this month take 30,000, this month take 50,000. You'll be very okay. Amongst your friends, you think you are up. But later, when those your friends that are on their own since, when they start bringing up what they've set up, you will see that you fade. But it will be very late for you to come back again. You understand? So what I'm saying is, as a youth, don't wait for the government or anybody. Just sit yourself down and say, what can I really do that will bring money for me? Just look for something. You start doing it. Me that you've seen here, I've worked in a bar.
As a bar attendant?
Yes.
Okay.
Even as a graduate. But I knew that this is the line of business I was going to get across to later. I just said, let me have an idea about this business. So people were saying, can you be doing? I told them it's not a problem. But today, those people that are saying they are still where they are. But we are moving forward. Yeah. That is the most important thing. Most time we are ashamed to do what we know is good for us. We want to rely on what people will say. Whereas, when you are successful, that is when everybody will come to you to be your friend. When you are backward, nobody wants to associate with you. So as a youth, I would just advise, you must have something doing, even if you have to get into politics. Because for the youth to break into politics fully, it will not be easy. A lot of sacrifice needs to be taken. The youth needs to hold their hands one after the other and say, no, this is what we want. Even as we speak now, an election is coming up. You will still see, when you get to feed that day, some people will still collect 5,000 naira against their own fellow youths and votes for somebody else. They'll tell you, my brother, I have children at home. They have not eaten since 3 days. Now somebody just give me 5,000 naira just to give a vote, and you're telling me not to give him the vote. And that same way, you see some people, you still give them that money, they will still vote for what they want to vote for. So, for the politicians, first, let them remove that attitude of wanting to influence people with money. After giving them money, they will not start suffering for the next 4 years again. That's what I will say about that now.
But I'm sure you know the politicians won't mind, because what they care about is the vote. And they don't really care about, well, some of them don't care about the people.
Yeah.
But some others care. But I'm sure you are not that kind of politician that doesn't really care about the people. But for your foundation, I'm going back to BRIGHT IYAMU Foundation. But how do you think you can curb this particular challenge? Because it's a major challenge. You know, beyond assisting people with school fees or, you know, business and all that, how about trying to reshape and reorient the average youth on how, you know, to get good leadership? Have you really thought about that?
Yeah, I've talked about that. But everything in life, you don't rush it. It's step by step. Okay. There's a stage you get to when you call for people, more than expected will show up. That this is the person that is calling. We are just starting. Okay. We are just starting. Let's say 3-4 years from now, by God's grace, we will not be the way we are now. We'll be bigger than this.
Yeah, politically.
Yes, politically. And that time, we'll be very popular. People will want to associate with us. So if we are saying, okay, so person is having a seminar, is calling all the youths, it's also placed, this is the reason for the seminar. You see people come because they want to hear what you have to say. You know, the common black man sense is, if you are not popular, if they don't know you, they don't think you can say anything meaningful to them until they have seen what you've done, the mountain you've moved. They'll not say, okay, this is a well-do person. Let's go there and see what he will do, especially when you are young. That is our problem. When you are young, people see you like, just because they are young like you, and they are not up to that, let me say, the standard that you are, they'll just feel, what did I want to tell me, we were never here before. But if an old man, an elderly person calls them, maybe that elderly person is even empty upstairs, they will even respect that call more than the one their fellow youth will call for them. That is another problem we are facing. The youth, we don't believe in ourselves until a particular youth break out of a crowd. Now, the other ones will not believe on that one, not even the remaining one. They will think the remaining ones that are dead, they don't even know what they are doing. It's only that one that broke out that know what he's doing. You see, it's a problem.
Yeah, but I think this problem, we can resolve this problem by continuously, you know, talking about it, so that people begin to know that yes, this is a problem and it should be changed. Don't you think so?
Yes, it's a problem and it will change with time. The government alone cannot fight this fight. we as a person, we need to start having a different mindset on how we think, because our thinking is really disturbing us. You understand? Because the way we think, we just think not until something is good, it's not good. You understand? As I'm telling you now, okay, sorry to say, we are saying youth. For presidency, who are they projecting? The both parties that they are projecting, they are old people. They are more than 60. So our youths should do their best. Let them build themselves up. The stage you get to in life, no politician will come and meet you to tell you that come and take 5,000 naira to vote for me. The way I am, you can't. Even if you give me 100,000, I will be looking at you. You understand?
But that's because you have built yourself and developed yourself to that point. But I hope that with your kind of foundation, more youths can be developed, and then, given this kind of idea so that they can be better person. Politically, now looking at you, what's your next plan? What's your next move?
I intend going to my constituency to go represent them. But I won't say that for now.
Exactly.
I won't say exactly where.
Already you're representing them, so
yes,
that's fine. So,
I think I should start from there. Maybe as time goes on, because before you help any community, you have to fit in. You can't help from outside. If you are helping from outside, the base will not be the foundation will not be very strong. So you have to be inside.
Yeah, but that's okay. Now, who are those people you look up to? How do you spend your pastime? Some people want to be like you. What makes you you? What are those things you hold dear to you when you want to have your leisure time? What do you do?
When I want to have my leisure time, I like hanging out with friends.
Okay.
We just like share some ideas. I'm a person who talk less. I don't talk too much.
It's obvious.
I don't talk too much. I'm a good listener. So if not for interview, like 3 of you can be talking here for the next 1 hour and I won't say a word until I'm asked to speak. And when I want to speak, I will speak collectively with what you people have been saying since. So I don't just jump into what I don't understand. So some people feel maybe I don't just want to relate, but as a person, that was how I was brought up. You understand? I can't say I was brought up in a home where where I was brought up, it was not siren. I was brought up in a very rough area.
Like where?
In like secondary secular, that was when I was brought up. But within that environment, our father was one of the most responsible person. So the way they brought us up was different from the way people are being brought up in that kind of area. I'm a free-spirited person, believe in God, everything you can think of.
Okay, well, it's nice talking to you, but before we go, we also want to get your advice for the youth and what you think they can do, especially those who feel like they are from less privileged homes, they don't have anybody to assist them, and also tell them if your foundation is available to them or not.
Yeah, for the youth, I know my foundation can't do everything at the time, but so far I know I've tried my best. There are so many things I've done I will just say, okay, this kind of help is not what I would want to put on social media. I'll just leave it between myself and my team. So as a youth, what I would say, my fellow youths, in whatever you are doing, be steadfast. Do what you know is good for you. What is good for Mr. A might not be what's good for Mr. B. So just try and see what's good for you. Keep doing it. You don't have to start so big. The owner of this place we are now is my very good friend. Though he's far senior to me, my very good friend. When he started this place, it was just here alone. But later he bought the other side. before you know it, you buy the other side again. That's how the place will be expanding. But most people just want to start in a very big way, and you don't have that capacity. That's where they go into crime. Because they want to meet up with life. They want to do what their mates are doing. You are riding a car of 1.2 million. You saw somebody who is driving a car of 10 million. You want to compete with him. You don't know how far that person has gone in his business. Even if you don't even know the kind of business the person does. You won't even ask. You want to meet up. You trying to meet up, you try 1 year, 2 years, you can't meet up. From there, if anything like crime that will bring such money for you, you won't even think twice, you just do it.
Well, we've been speaking with Comrade Bright Iyamu, the CEO, Rev La Vida. You didn't even tell us more about Rev La Vida and what you guys do, even though some of us know, but you can tell us for the purpose of those that don't know.
Okay, Rev La Vida is a lifestyle. It's a club, it's a lounge, and a restaurant. It's a place of entertainment generally. So there's a nightclub there if you're the kind of person that go out at night. There's a lounge if you're a person that don't go out at night. Maybe sometimes you want to relax with your kids, your friends in the afternoon. You can also do that. So we also have a restaurant. If you are hungry, you want to eat good food, you can also visit.
Okay, well, of course, I'm sure some of that time will come and check it out as one of the places to be in those state, Benin City. Well, it's been nice talking to you, Comrade Bright Iyamu.
You're welcome.
He is also the founder of the BRIGHT IYAMU Foundation that have been of tremendous help to the less privileged. Thank you so much for coming on the program.
Once again, you're welcome.
All right, that will be all on this edition of the BAT Show. Join us next week for another insightful edition. I am BC Akwaida.